Now that former President Rodrigo Duterte is in The Hague, what happens next? To discuss this, we're joined by International Criminal Court Assistant to Counsel Attorney Kristina Conti. Attorney, thank you for joining us.
Hey,
Hi,
attorney.
good morning.
Yes, Attorney.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Attorney. Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
All right.
happy to be here.
Okay, Attorney, now that the President, former President has arrived in The Hague, we heard that I think you said that possibly next week ihaharap siya sa judges ng ICC to verify his identity. Is this correct?
Well, I would say so, yes. So now that it's been surrendered to the court, the process of the court is, first, there should be an initial appearance before the court between 2 days up to 4 days after he has been admitted or surrendered to the court.
Okay.
This, of course, depends on the availability of his counsel, on his own request, and other logistical considerations. But generally, the time frame is 48 to 96 hours
Okay.
initial appearance. This is the opportunity when he could first raise questions or issues as to the rights violations during his arrest, as to mistaken identity, which I don't think so, and as to the process of arrest. If there were any violations of protocol, of police guidelines, and so forth. That is an opportunity also to ask, well, I wouldn't want to volunteer, but for the suspect, it is an opportunity to ask for interim release if proper.
Yun. So you mentioned
So-
interim release. This is the temporary liberty, Attorney, yung pinag-uusapan?
Yes po.
Okay.
This is the concept of being out on bail that we know in the Philippines. Sorry, I will just backtrack a little bit. So what I imagine, what he has already been processed through, so yung parang booking, the way it was described to us is when a suspect is brought before the court, he is, of course, searched. This is a body search, just to check if there is anything, first, medically problematic, or could be a medical issue. Also, if he has brought anything of that will allow him to escape. So something of
Okay.
the sort.
Okay.
And then he will be given documents. These documents would first pertain to the charges against him, as to the rules of the detention facility, and he will be furnished a copy of list of lawyers who can appear before the court and who can assist him during initial appearance.
Okay. Attorney,
After initial appearance,
Go ahead.
after initial appearance, a few months, well, it depends again on the time frame and what his response would be, but it is envisioned that within a few months after the initial appearance, there would be confirmation of charges.
Okay.
And this is somewhat equivalent to what we call both the initial appearance and confirmation of charges. It's what we call arraignment in the Philippines.
Okay. Attorney, before I turn you over to Angel, I'd just like to ask you, you mentioned this is the time also that he can question yung legality ng kanyang arrest, but who will speak po on behalf of the Philippine government or the Philippine National Police? Will it be the Interpol representatives at the scene?
Well, I wouldn't dare imagine what the Philippine government should do, but at the minimum, because these are exceptional circumstances, the arresting and the custodial state is no longer a member of the ICC.
Yes.
They would have had, responsibilities under Article 59 of the Rome Statute, presenting him before a local court.
Okay.
So iba pa sana, dapat may nauna na yung inarrest siya.
Yeah.
So this would be an exceptional circumstance that, nandyan ka na, so paano nang mangyayari? I'm pretty sure that the ICC will find a way for the appearance of someone. Someone who can explain what happened during the arrest.
Okay.
Din po ba sa side ng prosecution, kapag po sila ay mag-present na nga po ng evidence at that point in that legal process. Mga ilang araw po yung aantayin na para po dun sa desisyon sa pre-trial judges na may merit itong kaso, tuloy na natin to sa trial, or dismiss to, walang merit yung kaso?
Oh, yang pong ganyan na pagpapasya ng substantial processes, yan yung sa confirmation of charges. So later pa yon. Sa confirmation of charges, medyo ayokong bigyan ng time frame, pero ang general rule is about 120 days. Or ilan ba yun? 3 months ba yun? Or 6 months? 120 days na makapagpasya ang pre-trial chamber sa kung ano man na pagdedesisyonan. Ganun din yan Sa Pilipinas nga, ang deadline natin ay 90 days. Ang mga judges natin have 90 days to decide on any matter brought before the court. Pero, yun nga, depende din yan dun sa circumstansya, lalo na kung sa confirmation of charges, magkakaroon pa ng second hearing on the confirmation of charges. Pwede din yan Nangyari na yan minsan kasi hindi handa o kaya the accused asked for continuance o parang mag-reset muna tayo kasi we intend to present or we intend to talk about other things. The confirmation of charges is where the arraignment nga, where there is a little bit of determination na parang do we have sufficient proof or evidence to go forward with trial? For us, we think this is just a formality kasi of course we would have sufficient basis for trial. But essentially, this is our chance to present comprehensively what are the charges before him. Our partner here would be the Office of the Prosecutor, but the victims will have a separate voice or representation.
What about po yung mga witnesses po na magsasalita laban po kay former President Rodrigo Duterte? Ready na po ba sila?
Yes, the court is already in custody of several witnesses. Na balita namin yan. Bagaman sa amin, hindi namin kilala yung lahat yan. The court has been very circumspect in dealing with the witnesses because they know, and this is what I also would have to warn those in the Philippines, they know the propensity of suspects to, and possibility of supporters assisting or thinking of assisting the suspects by destroying evidence, by tampering with the evidence, and by intimidating witnesses. It is that kind of action is a crime within the court. Article 70. Kumbaga, kapag parang sa atin obstruction of justice, di ba? Kapag may sinira kang ebidensya, may tinapat kayo. Kaya we're very careful with that because we can only safely breathe when a witness has already taken the stand. And the witness is taking the stand, we envision that happening not now, but in the next few years.
Okay.
So we really have to be very careful.
Attorney, I'd like to backtrack a little. You mentioned kasi also yung may mga certain, since we're not a member state, dapat humarap sa court if it could be treated like an extradition. What if the ICC determines na medyong may mali sa proseso sa pag-aresto ni President Duterte dahil hindi natin hinarap sa isang local court? What can happen with this case?
Then, technically, there are protocols under Article 59 which were not followed. Kasi sabi ng, parang yung Pilipinas, ginawa namin, ayon sa proseso namin, yung pag-aresto. Pero, oo yung pag-aresto according to Philippine courts, pero may sinasabi yung Rome Statute na kailangan gawin yung custodial state na ihaharap sa Korte ng Pilipinas.
Okay.
Yun yung na isang tabi. Pero may oportunidad pa ulit na iharap sa Korte, kaya lang in this instance, it will be before the International Criminal Court pre-trial chamber na. Diretso na.
So
kaya mauulit naman.
Okay. So hindi defined, attorney, na kung local or at this case siguro since ang may jurisdiction na kay President Duterte is yung ICC. So i-determine natin sila ang local court as of the moment.
No, wala na yon. Wala na yon. Kasi parang na-skip na yon, parang ganon. Kaya let me fashion the question na without that opportunity to be presented before a local court of the custodial state. Kasi as soon as hinuli ka, ihaharap ka dapat sa korte doon sa kung saan ka hinuli. Hindi nangyari yon. Pagdating mo sa ICC, if you have already been surrendered to the ICC, mauulit naman yung proseso.
Okay.
And I would say that this is substantial compliance Yung hindi nagawa ng local court or hindi na-avail ni Duterte sa local court, kung sakasakali man, pwede naman niyang i-avail sa ICC.
Okay.
The ICC will, one, verify his identity, check if the protocols of arrest were followed, and third, ask if there were any rights violations. He will also have the opportunity to file interim bail. So, kung ano dapat yung gagawin sa local court, gagawin naman ulit ng ICC. In this case, diretso sa ICC, ganun din naman.
Okay.
Kaya I would say that there is substantial compliance with the processes.
Si VP Sara po ay on the way na nga po, binabalita natin dyan po sa The Hague, and I think kasunod din po yung
Pulong.
kanyang kapatid na si Congressman na Pulong Duterte. I was just want to ask po kung allowed po ba si Duterte to see his family in the detention center? Ano po ba yung mga magiging restrictions for him?
Oh yes, allowed siya ng family. As I understand, family visits could be allowed inside the detention facility up to 10 days. I'm looking at my notes. Up to 10 days daw, sabi nung ICC detention facility. Hindi ito yung tipong dalaw lang talaga. Yung concept nito, international standards again, 10 days. And they should be entitled access to him. As I understand, 24 hours eh. Kung lalabas man, tapos kunyari, gabi, tatawagan niya. Hello, gusto kong kausapin si Sarah. Pwede niyang gawin yon if Sarah is available, of course. But what I would recommend for them is, ito nga, no, nakalagay, baka pwedeng doon na sila magstay within. It's important that an immediate family member, yung from the nuclear family, is present because they will be considered, kumbaga, cleared for entry. Hindi pwedeng tito, tita, kumbaga. And counsel. Those who are registered before the court will be technically considered his counsel. So ICC counsel dapat. Kaya lang, I am thinking, and it has happened in other cases, he can also say that he has a different counsel, not accredited with the court, who also provides him with legal assistance.
Assistance.
So,
pero hindi siya
announcing
pwedeng
yan,
humarap.
katulad Yes. So parang Secretary Medialdea could be allowed. Unfortunately, I think he has no visa lang, kaya hindi siya makababa ng eroplano. But he could also be considered counsel, I would say.
Yeah, binigyan daw po siyang 15 days na visa si Secretary Medialdea.
Oh, great. Maybe he can present himself as counsel for Duterte so that he can have access immediately. But Duterte has to secure an ICC-accredited counsel. Yan ang una dapat niyang gawin. And I'm volunteering Harry Roque.
Kaso hindi na po natin alam kung nasaan pa po siya.
Baka alam ni Duterte, di ba?
Alright, on that note, maraming salamat po muli sa inyong oras. That was ICC Assistant to Counsel, Attorney Kristina Conti.